Wow, this is bad. I don't know why Magic Online is taking this long to load. Yeah, my internet's fine now. Okay, this is like way longer than average. I'm gonna restart Magic Online. That was like 2 or 3 times the length of time. Okay. Okay, there we go. Right, so should load. Right, and we take Snapcaster Mage. Kopala's a wizard, so we can cast it through Cavern, which is nice. We also know our opponent has Mana Leak, so we don't run into Mana Leak this way. Oh, come on, really? You have to draw 2 cards, that's one of them. Okay, so I'm gonna play Kopala here. Oh, that's fine, actually. It's uncounterable. Because it's like it runs into our opponent's path, but that's okay, because then we can cast Rejuries through Mana Leaks and it doesn't matter much. Opponent doesn't even path Kopala. Opponent has Mana League, Path, and Unknown. Mutavault is pretty good here. So... Right. They might path the Rejury instead. Right, well... We're gonna pay free. For our opponent has a second Mana Leak for Rejury, that's what it is, right? Like... Sure. We attack for 2 at least, and our opponent has a path. So we should be pretty ahead now. Right, well, our opponent has path and nothing else, so that's really good here. Actually, do we start with Spreading Seas here? Spreading Seas means that it might not be able to attack with Mutavault. I don't think we do. I think we... Let's see, if our opponent plays path on Rejury, which is the most likely outcome. Let's see, they cast path on Rejury. But then we smack them for at least 4. We only have 1 Curse Catcher left, and I can't think of another card we might want to play. So I'm okay with just casting this Rejury. Sadly, our opponent didn't fall for the trick of tapping Cavern. Right. So now our opponent should path the Rejury. Yes, get an island. When it's at 4, has 1 card. The other thing is it's really hard for our opponent to target something, but if they have literal Snapcaster, it's awkward. Okay, so we're going to... Actually, this isn't free, because I think my plan here should be to just attack and then flash in... This is opponent? Oh, opponent. I thought I can't bounce my own things. Right, so we're going to start with Spreading Seas. I guess if this deck plays Supreme Verdict, we want to get rid of the second white source. So let's do that. Dismember. Okay. So... Animate Mutavault and attempt to lethal our opponent. And we have Dismember if our opponent goes Snapcaster. Path, okay. Yes. I'm just gonna play the Harbinger of the Tides out here, since I mean, there's just nothing I want to get rid of from. Like, I'm not gonna bounce anything from my opponent here. So we win through Snapcaster Mage here, which is nice. Yeah, Opt is fine. They bottomed the card very quickly and we win. Okay. So Jeskai like tends to go for their big removal plan against you. Or at least I did when I played the Jeskai deck. It's against them. I like this spell. The relics are good. Cage is like not great. Because it only stops Snap. But it's a pretty important card to stop. I think I'd rather just have relics though. Clique is okay. It's like a flash threat. If they don't have Electrolyze. We'll also play Unified Wills. We have more counter magic, so Clique becomes better post board. I don't like Stroke. I don't like Recall, Rejection, or Cage. Cards that are bad. They tend to go for removal plans, so Image is worse than usual. Spreading Seas is not as good as it normally is. Simply because they already get islands themselves. It's very hard for them not to have an island in play. And then, let's see. Vile's good. Harbinger of the Tides is pretty bad. I'll shave 1 or 2. I might actually... Phantasmal Image might be better than a Harbinger. Just like one that copies a Master or an Adept. Yeah, I think Phantasmal Image is better than Harbinger. Could keep a Season against a Landlight hand. It's not the worst. I think Harbinger is like super bad. It's like a 2/2 for 2 and nothing else in this matchup. Because you know, there's no creature you want to bounce from the Jeskai deck normally. Like only we could keep it like for Celestial Colonnade, I guess. That's about it. I think that's okay. Like just a 2/2 for 2 might be okay. Right. So a bit awkward because they're in play, but they should sideboard out their counter magic. So I'll keep this hand. It's just got frets. It's okay. Not having the Curse Catcher or Vile here is awkward though. Serum Visions. Yep. They top both cards. That's not normally a good sign. Right. We'll keep like in mind like how their hand pans out, like, but yeah, I'm just gonna run out the Adept here. Our opponent could have kept in Spell Snare, but yeah. How's the T? We drank. Oh yeah. Let me think. Want to reveal? I guess Rejury is the worst one. And the most likely one we're going to cast next turn, so... yeah, for the... yeah, so... okay, counters that. I don't know. I don't know if Spell Snare is, like, that good an idea to keep, but... because, like, you saw Cavern game 1, and, like, if I had a Cavern, like, your hand is just dead. Yeah. Yeah, so my friend Will Hall got me, like, teabags from England. I drunk, like, 150 of them with my girlfriend, so definitely appreciated it. You got us like 200. Any Vile? We don't have Vile in our hand, but we definitely play 4 Viles. Vile is like one of the best cards in this deck, so yeah. Okay, our opponent passes. Okay, we have Vile. Let's see. Our opponent can't Spell Snare this turn. Well, they can if they Snapcaster, but if we play Rejury... the thing is, like, my opponent passed with open mana, so I'd rather just play Mutavault and make this A for Vile, since it's actually kind of awkward. No, Spell Snare, like, makes some sense. At least it's efficient. Right. Are they gonna counter this Vile? Oh, Spell Queller? Sure. The Spell Queller makes sense because it counters... it's a threat and it counters a... yeah. Spellcaller might be like the only card we want to Harbinger. Oh geez, Unified Will looks awful now. Although most Jeskai decks don't board in Young Pyromancer, so... The spell... I guess I could play Reejerey with the spell backup. Now our opponent's at 13, so that's like one good piece of it. That's one like one good thing for us. They've also missed their land drop. Yeah. Well, sure, but most Jeskai lists don't run Pyromancer, and we didn't board out our dismembers, so it's not like we're weak to creatures as a deck, anyways, inherently. Yeah, we're gonna dispel this. Oh, they're definitely like. They still have an island though, so it's not like... The Unified Will being dead is awkward. Well... Okay. They don't want to trade a Lord for a Young Pyro. Right, so... I'm gonna play Master. And then I'm gonna untap an island. But then we're gonna animate this Mutavault. And we're gonna attack for 6. But yeah, the Young Pyro... I'm not sure our opponent put in Young Pyromancer to counter Unified Will, but it just happens to. I mean, if our opponent has another removal spell or a Snapcaster Mage, we're in trouble, but otherwise... Actually, our opponent with a Snapcaster Mage would be dead to a top deck Lord. Except for Lightning Helix, I guess. Wait, yeah, because it gains them the life. I think you should have started with Serum Visions there. I know you were probably going to Lightning Helix, but, you know, like, you get the information in sequence. So our opponent topped a card. That's not good. We need a Master of Waves, and then we have a shot. Curse Catcher is probably not where you need to be. Let me think here. 7. I can tap an Elemental by playing Curse Catcher. Do I die? Let's see. If Curse Catcher blocks Pyro... I take 7. So I would die doing this. I should have thought about this a little more. Because I could have like also attacked with Mutavault and like untapped it. Yes, Merry Christmas to everybody. It is Christmas Eve. Okay, so... Right. Because yeah, if our opponent attacks with D7, it's lethal. That was a mistake. I should have thought about this and like untapped the Mutavault. Because like now they could just block this and yeah, there's not much that can happen. They should block for what it's worth. Since I can block here and here. Serum Visions? Okay. Jeez. Yeah, this Unified Will seems bad against Young Pyromancer. This is the first time I've seen Jeskai play Young Pyromancer though, so... Okay, let's see here. We have to block this, and we have to block this. And I'm pretty sure we have to block like that. It might be... Yeah, because any Lord Merfolk wins us the game if our opponent has nothing. Our opponent probably has something, though. Yes. Deferred Bolt? Yeah. Okay, so if they have Young Pyromancer... Harbinger still doesn't help too much. Also, we're going to be on the play, so it's going to help a lot less. And Unified Will become better. Spreading Seas might be okay. Actually, over Harbinger. We could try Spreading Seas. On the play. If they have Young Pyromancer, I don't want this many Unified Wills. We'll try 2 Spreading Seas to just lock down their red mana since they're pretty reliant on it. Thank you. It's OC Remix, so... Okay, well, this hand is like the typical one-lander you can keep with Merfolk because you have Vile. We also have Dismember, which is really nice. If we draw a land, this hand is like totally nuts, but... Yep. Sure. Opponent also likes to seem taking damage off their own lands. Played Serum Visions and they topped a card. So we're gonna put a charge counter. We're gonna... Okay, we didn't draw our land, which is unfortunate. But that's okay. We're still in good shape if our Vial stays around. Which it should. I think Mordian Stony Silence is pretty aggressive. So if our opponent plays Young Pyromancer here, we have the Dismember. Yes, that's good. So, yeah, we can Dismember this now. Right. We're gonna put a charge counter. Yes. And then I'm going to put a Silvergill Adept into play. Attempt to draw the land. Yep. Okay. And now the question is, what else do I do? How do I feel about Silvergill in Standard? I mean, it's a really good card, and it requires a specific deck, so I hope it makes it like a player, but not insane. It wasn't like nuts the first time around. Okay, so here, well, right, but the problem is if they have a fetch land, they can just get another red source. I think locking them is fine. They're also tapped out, so this is like the turn they can't do anything. So like a Phantasmal Image on Adept is really nice, or even like on a Lord here. I like it drawing a card though, so we're gonna Spreading Seas this Steam Vents. Right, Kopala is really nice here. Since now we can play... Right, see, this is what I mean. Now they get red mana. Right, so this is where it gets tough. Because I kind of... Like, if I go for... Because, like, if I go for Reedry here... my opponent's, like, proven that they still like counter magic. And they still have, like, Spell Queller. Although, whenever... Merfolk Reedry is whenever you cast a Merfolk spell. So, we can, like, untap Vial and play Kopala. So, I'm happy to add a counter, I think. Yes. Well, we drew the land, so yeah. So now, there's the question, do we attack here? Like, I think it's better to play Reedry first, since our opponent doesn't have a Lightning Bolt in their graveyard, so they can't, like, Snap Bolt. And they can't really Snapcaster here, so... Yeah, I think we want to go for... Reedry here. Oh, they're going to Vendilion Clique us? Or Lightning Bolt? Okay. That makes sense, because they've seen Kopala. Yeah, that's fine. Yes, so we put Reedry in play. You would swing first? I mean, it could be. Right, so here we now want to cast... I guess we want to cast Lord of Atlantis. I could cast Phantasmal Image, but yeah. So Lord of Atlantis, and we want to untap this Vial. Spell Snare? Mana Leak would be wrong, but really? They keep Mana Leak in? That just seems wrong. Actually, that was a mistake. I should have untapped an island, played a Master, and then untapped for Kopala. I still want to put Kopala in play to make sure that like their spells cost a little more, even though it doesn't play around mass removal. Our opponents played Lightning Bolt, which shows that they don't probably have mass removal. But yeah, that was a mistake. I should have untapped the island, played Master of the Pearl Trident, and then untapped the Vial, and I would that would be better. Sorry, I'm playing this wrong. We're not gonna put a charge counter. If we draw a Master, yeah, it's fine. There's only 3 4s in the deck, so also yeah. Yeah, it's a bit awkward that we had to Vial up to 3 because we didn't know if we were gonna draw a land or not. Right. So here, our opponent. So we want to tap Sacred Foundry most likely. They have to respond now. Okay, so they're gonna path the Kopala. Which is fine. Right. And then we play Phantasmal Image. I'd rather copy the Master since tapping and untapping is going to be less relevant. And I'd want to make sure my Merfolk have Island Walk. Let me think. It was a mistake not to play the Master last turn, because then we would have been able to swing in for 4 more, and our opponent would be at 4. So that was actually a really big mistake. We've like missed out 4 damage. Most likely. Drawing like the 4th island there was really bad compared to a Mutavault. Yeah. It's also possible like we should have waited earlier on Spreading Seas to try to get a Sacred Foundry. So Snapcaster Mage. Supreme Verdict? I don't think we can beat Supreme Verdict, so... Our opponent's gonna Lightning Bolt the Master. The copied Master. Yep. Right. So we're not gonna put a charge counter. Lord? Well, we're gonna just play this. And we're gonna tap this Snapcaster Mage, since there's not much else to do. We could tap the Hollow Fountain, to be fair, but that seems useless. We're gonna just try to go for lethal here. If our opponent has a path, they have a path. But, yeah, if we had played properly, we could have put our opponent to 1. Okay, so we got lucky. Jeskai always feels weird, like I play from the Jeskai side, and, like, my view is just kill everything, but you need, like, cards like Electrolyze, like, something that allows you to push ahead. UG Merfolk? I don't like it, personally. I mean, the extra 1-drop is nice, but Branch Walker is just okay. I don't like that you're playing... I don't know, like, I'm not the biggest fan of that deck. Also, like, it makes your sideboard so much worse, because you have so few collared sources, so it's really hard. You can't, like, leverage the advantage of having the second collar. Well, we're keeping this. Before it gets another blue control deck, this hand's nuts. Wow. The mirror match? Okay, well, Lord of Atlantis is awful in the mirror match. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're gonna do the same opening. Spreading Seas is just for Mutavault. I can't think of another card I would want to get with it. But yeah, the Lords of Atlantis are awful because they're symmetrical. It's other Merfolk creatures. Okay, so we have an edge. Mostly because our opponent forgot to, you know, play a land. They didn't forget, but they... Okay. So this is hard. Like, if I go for Lord of Atlantis, I have to assume that, like, I'm going to win with them. There's just... Like, I have to assume they're fast enough. We do have this Harbinger of the Tides. So we're going to name Merfolk. I think we have to. I don't see how we win by keeping these Lords in hand. So we're going to play a Lord of Atlantis, which is awful. And pass a turn. And hopefully our opponent doesn't have, like, even a Curse Catcher. They have it? They might be trolling... Oh, they have it. This is not good. Yeah, like, you can already see, like, the biggest drawback of this Lord of Atlantis. If we can cast the Reedry, though, like, next turn, we can go totally nuts. So, unfortunately, the nuts is with Lords of Atlantis. Right, so our opponent's going to play some Lord here. Oh, no, an Adept. Yeah, we're, like, pumping our opponent's creatures. This is awful. Thankfully, though, yeah. So we're definitely going to put a charge counter on our Vial. Thankfully, this Vial is going to help a lot. Okay, we have Master Waves. I'd rather just play a Lord of Atlantis here and then Harbinger of the Tides. This is really bad, though. I can't stress how awful this is. Right, so now... Attack with Lord. I could play another one, but I'd rather, like... Our opponent's, like, pretty light on... Oh, they have Dismember? Why don't they Dismember the untapped Lord? Okay, well... Yeah, that's fine. Then during their turn, we're gonna Harbinger of the Tides. Yeah, they keep their Vial at 2, so... I'm less tempted to bounce this Adept, but we'll see what happens here. Okay. Bouncing the Curse Catch is also awkward. I think I'm okay with taking this damage here. Okay, this isn't... Okay, so our opponent vials something in. So we might bounce this Adept, depending on what this is. Master? Yeah, Master's non-symmetrical. That's the one you want in the mirror. Right, so... We're gonna flash in this Harbinger of the Tides. And we're going to return the Silvergill Adept. Even though it draws a card, it's the biggest creature. Right, okay. Now I want to pump Reedry up, so yeah, I want to get the Reedry out. Okay, well, that island is... I guess we can Spreading Seas. Like I said, we'll keep it for Mutavault, but our opponent's like not drawing any lands, so... And it allows our Masters to be better. So here we want to cast Reedry Lord Seas, right? Yeah, so... Cast this, play this island. Yes, Reedry in play. Pumping our opponent's creatures is like the nut low, but we should kill them a lot faster than they kill us. Here. So here, we then play Lord of Atlantis. Untap this island since, yep. To just, like, cycle the Spreading Seas. It's just, like, Spreading Seas is just not good, obviously. Like, yeah. Right. And then we're gonna pump this to 4 anyways. So, attack. On the next turn, we're hoping that this is good enough to kill our opponent, because they're gonna kill us on the backswing. Because we have double Lord of Atlantis, which is awful. We might play this Master of Waves, but yeah. Basically, our opponent should be dead here, barring anything, almost. So, like, they should be able to kill us, even with, like, Lord. So, if our opponent has, like, double Harbinger of the Tides, maybe. But, yeah, they missed their land drop. Like, they would have won for sure if they didn't miss their land drop. Just 0 chance. But, like, it's because our hand was, like, triple Lord of Atlantis. Which is, like, so bad. I mean, we still had to play them out because when our opponent missed our land drop, so their land drop. Well, they play Vile, they adapt. That's probably good for us. Okay, and they lose. Okay, so Spreading Seas and Lord of Atlantis are bad. Spreading Seas is worse than Lord is, I think. Because Lord, you can at least, like, in some scenarios, work it out. There's a lot of cards that are just bad. Dispel is pretty bad, though. All these cards are really bad. There's just nothing you want to board in. Because, like, I'd want to board in this Vendilion Clique to respond to a Vile. But everything else is just, like, there's just nothing to board in. Like, is Relic better? Like, Relic is probably, like, Spreading Seas at least, like, kills the Mutavaults. Oh my god. We have, like, nothing for the mirror, because we're kind of pre-boarded anyways with these Dismembers, but I guess we can board in a Dispel since there's a high chance our opponent boards in, like, something. We don't want this Baneful Stroke. We don't want Recall. Although, like, bouncing a Vile is cute. Will is obviously terrible, especially on the draw. Then it's how many Relic and Seas do you want in your deck. I guess the Lords, we have to keep them, but they're awful. Ceremonious Rejection? Nah, they only have Vile. Like, if you don't get the Vile that turn, it's awful. Like, the card does nothing else. I could see, like, the Dispel at least doing something. I guess the Spreading Seas do kill. Yeah, Spreading Seas does kill at least Mutavault. Do I want these Relics? These Relics, like, are literally 2 mana draw a card. Like, that's the question. Do I bring in a card that says Cycling 2? I guess not. I guess Lords is fine. Like, we'll keep the Lords in, but not a fan, for sure. Actually, on the draw, they're a real liability. I just gotta keep in the Seas. Like, I don't think Lord of Atlantis is... It's too much of a liability. So, okay, well, this hand is good. We're gonna keep. Since we have Vile. And our hand's fast. I don't understand why these Merfolk players play Fairy Conclave. Like, surely a land that comes into play tap seems awful. Okay, so... Vile. Yeah. Play Vile on turn 1, because then we can play Curse Catcher on turn 2. I mean, if our opponent has Fairy Conclave, then Spreading Sea seems fine. Okay, so they keep in Lord of Atlantis. Our opponent's probably more skilled at Merfolk than I am. I know that sounds awful, but yeah. They're, oh, well, oh, Merry Christmas. They're also on the play, to be fair, so Lord of Atlantis seems better. Yes. Let's see here. I guess I could just play this naming Merfolk. And then here we want to play the Master, since out of the 2 options that one isn't awful. At least the Kopala is non-symmetrical. There might be an argument for playing the Curse Catcher, but I like flashing it in and potentially blocking. Actually, am I attacking for 2? Are we gonna win this race or not? That's like the question I have to ask. We have Vile, so we should be really ahead of the race. So I'm not gonna block, and I'm not gonna flash in Curse Catcher either to block. I'd rather just maul our opponent. Echoing Truth? Well, okay, so I'm gonna flash in this Curse Catcher. Yes. Then the question is, do I even care? If our opponent bounces Vile, let's see. Do I prefer Curse Catcher in play or Vile? Like, we have Master anyways. Next turn is... If we sack Curse Catcher, next turn is Lord Kopala. So like it's like a tempo thing. I think it's fine for opponent to bounce Vile. I don't really care. I can just go Lord at Vile, or I could go like just Kopala. Reedry's even really good. We'll just go for Reedry here. I'd rather just put pressure, but yes. I could have played Kopala, because then, like... Actually, I probably should have played Kopala, even though it's less pressure. Although I have Curse Catcher, Harbinger of the Tides. Because this is abilities your opponent's activate. Oh, activate. So, yeah, our opponent's not having... Yeah, okay. So, bounce the Master. Yeah, that's fine. And now, our opponent attacks, probably. Yep, and we take 2. Right, and now we can go kind of nuts. Master, is that the best line? Master, Vile. I could also play Kopala, right? No. Master, Vile is definitely the best line. Our opponent, like, just had mana issues. Like, we were ahead on mana early in the games, and that just compounded. Because our board develops so much faster than our opponents. I guess we untap with this. Disrupting Shoal. Really? What did they exile? Oh, they exiled another Shoal. Let's see. I guess Curse Catcher should sacrifice himself for this one. It's less damage, but I think it's totally fine. Yep. Opponent could have another Harbinger of the Tides, which might mean that maybe attacking was wrong, since if they have another one. Like, they could also have just Echoing Truth. Jeez. Well, Echoing Truth so far is fine. I don't like our opponent's still like losing, so yes. Right, Island. And now we can just... I don't want to cast a Lord, so I'm probably going to go Master Kopala. I could also go Master Ways, but we only have one, so... Yeah, we're going to go... Master... Untap this island. Yes. Then... Let's see, Kopala, I guess? Well, we could attack and then play Kopala. Right. Because this makes sure that, like, we can't lose to a Harbinger of the Tides. Like, we're at 12. Our opponent's done a good job of trying to stabilize, but with Disrupting Shoal and Echoing Truth. But these are not the cards to win. I mean, they're better than, like, some of the cards we have, but yeah. So our opponent would have to have quite a lot for... Yeah. Kopala shouldn't be able to die here. Yeah, we win. That was just a suicide attack. Okay. Yeah, it just seemed like mana advantage was key in the mirror there. Well, let's see if you have more removal or Vapor Snag. I think 2 Echoing Truth is probably wrong. I'd rather play the efficient Vapor Snag if you were going to play an effect of that nature. Maybe like, yeah, because like you have Spreading Seas and stuff, so it's not like a large amount of blockers are a problem. It's more like a big creature would be when you're like low on resources. A Vapor Snag deals 1 damage, it's reach. Sadly, this is not even a 1-lander. I would, by the way, if a land replaced any card in this hand that wasn't Vile with an island, I would have kept. So we're gonna mulligan. We're gonna keep this, but we really need a land because we're on the draw. I'm gonna bottom that. We also have like 2 1-drops and an adept. No worries. Take care. Okay, so play Curse Catcher. Bemoan when we don't draw our land. Right. Watery Grave, okay. Shadow? Sure, that makes sense. Right, Tassiger's in the bin. Yeah, they're on Shadow most likely. This Harbinger of the Tides is really good against Shadow. But if we don't draw a land, like, none of this is going to really matter. If only goes to 14, they probably Fotsies us here. And then play Shadow as a 1/1. Nope, play Serum Visions, okay. Sure, they might still play Shadow. They play Shadow, then the question is, do I want to attack at all? Oh, okay, our opponent's playing like one of the big Delve creatures. This is even better against them. Right. Island? Or Vial? Well, we're definitely playing Vial here. If our opponent has Cola against command, we at least get Curse Catchers, so it's not so bad, as it might appear at first glance. Right, our opponent Fotsies us, which is just going to sadly resolve. They're probably going to take the Harbinger of the Tides here, since it's the only card that interacts with their board. They might take Adept, or... yeah, they should take the Harbinger, though. Alright, so they took Harbinger. Thoughtscour, do I care about this? I guess not. Tassiger and Street Wraith. Okay, so... oh, Island? Okay, so there should be... I think we have to let these things resolve. We need a board. Like, if we draw an Island, like, we can play Silvergill Adept, draw a card, and have Curse Catcher with Vial, so that's actually really good. And then we can go Master. Right, opponent knows us. So, card on top of the library. Right, so they attack for 5, which we'll take. We're gonna put a charge counter, obviously. Okay, now we want to go for Adept, revealing... how much do I want my opponent to calculate? I think Curse Catcher is fine. Since it's not the card that's like... okay. Right. Now we attack. At least we can counter a Cola against command. Although that would have been the reason to not reveal Curse Catcher. Okay, our opponent... Inquisition of Kozilek. I could violin the Curse Catcher here. Yeah, I'm gonna violin the Curse Catcher. There's just no drawback to doing so. Because they can always, like, take it if they care. Right. Now we're gonna let this resolve, obviously. They're gonna probably take a Lord and then have mana up to kill it. Because then, like, even if they... we can still Curse Catcher the removal, but yeah. And also, they know about the Harbinger of the Tide, so they're probably not gonna attack. The Vial's been really helpful. If it was on turn 1, I think we would have been like in insane shape, but I think like this, we're still in good shape. Depends what else happens. So our opponent takes the Master, which makes sense. Oh, and then they... oh, we can Curse Catcher this Snapcaster Mage, though, so that's not so bad. Yeah, we definitely want to get rid of that. Like, at this point, it's just like trading Curse Catcher for a Master. One attacks, which is kind of interesting. We're obviously taking it. And then we're going to put a charge counter on Vial, for sure. Spreading Seas is kind of interesting because they only have one blue source. What? Right. I have no idea why the Master was grayed out. Okay. So I have a few options. I can Spreading Seas the Blood Crypt, which cuts my opponent's red. I could just play out this Master. I definitely want to play out Master this turn. I think we can Spreading Seas later. I'm not... Cutting red is like not really that important except for like a Terminate or a Kolaghan's Command, but yeah. I'm a fan of going Master, attacking for 5. Or then also Harbinger of the Tides, the Delve creature. But our opponent can easily recast the Delve creature. So it's kind of tough. The Harbinger loses a lot of value. I think I'm just going to play Master and Harbinger here. I know our opponent like kind of expects all this, so... like if they expect all this, it's that they have a plan around it. But... yeah. Like if they have like Removal Shadow, maybe it's bad. We'll just see what they do. Terminate? Yeah. That would have been like the reason to Spreading Seas the Blood Crypt, is like if I think our opponent has a Terminate. But I think this turn we really needed to play Master and the Harbinger. Right, Serum Visions now. They bottom 1. They bottom 1? Okay. So the Vial on upkeep, we have more 2s in our deck, so I'm gonna like keep it at 2. With the assumption that like the 2s are like way more important to cast this turn because they're all like kind of lethal cards. So our opponent's gonna, yeah. I don't know who my opponent is, although they know me. No offense to them. 12 Azor. Yeah, my opponent knows me. Right, so my opponent's going to cast their Gurmag Angler. Right. And then they might attack with Snapcaster. That seems really risky. Oh, whoa. F3. Okay. So our opponent, what did they do? Did they top a card? Yes. Okay. So the top card of their deck is possibly a... So they could have always terminated, but they would have taken 2 damage. Okay. So here, any of the Lords is lethal, so we're not going to... Actually, one second. Any of the Lords is lethal. But we want to, like, draw Spreading Seas. So we're not going to use Vial's ability. Draw the 1 card where that's relevant. But even then, like, our opponent still survives. That's why I didn't really mind. Right, so we want to Spreading Seas. Let's see. Blood Crypt, I guess, is the best one. Draw a card. If they have Kolaghan's Command, I don't want them to make me discard my island. So sadly, we can't attack here. So we're just gonna pass, which is awkward, of course. If they attack here, this is where things get really difficult. Because I don't know if they play Battle Rage or not. Battle Rage would be exactly lethal. The way they play it out makes me think they might have it. It was also possible that, like, that turn I should have Spreading Seas this and then mastered my opponent. Let's see what this is. Kolaghan's Command, get back Tasigur, and destroy Vial. I think that's fine. I don't really mind. The Vial being destroyed isn't, like, a fundamental problem. Since our opponent doesn't know we have an island. So it was correct to keep the island in hand. Not just for the information, but, like, yeah. So yeah, our opponent has Tasigur. Ah, this is like super risky. I mean, they tapped out red, so if our opponent hasn't played a push yet. Reejerey is kind of the most... Yeah, we're gonna just play out this Reejerey here. Opponent has push, they have to push one of these, so the Rejury can at least block. Let me think. Our opponent has Tasigur, very likely to cast it next turn. If they have the push here, we're in trouble. If I don't attack, what happens? I can wait a turn. They can't really like push the Rejury. Our opponent's probably going to attack with Angler. So let me think here. Is it because like Curse Catcher taps a creature? This is a really difficult turn because it might be lethal, but if our opponent has Fatal Push, then we're in trouble. Let me think. The way they tapped out their mana, they had to play. Where they have to play like this regardless. They could have a land in hand. They probably would. They probably wouldn't play out a fetch land just for bluffing money. Because like if our opponent has Fatal Push, they push this, they block. They don't have to block, and we are in horrible shape. But we could still top deck a Lord normally. Wait, they push the because they take 2 at least. So they go to 2, and then like we can top deck a Lord. Let me think. If we don't attack, then Curse Catcher's at least tapping a creature, so we're in the similar situation. I'm gonna attack here. Our opponent could have another Call against command. Yeah, right. Okay, cool. They could have also had a Dismember, so I think the way that game played out, I didn't think our opponent had push. That's what happened. It was close though, very close. Okay, so Cage is not that great, but Relic is obviously good. We want this spell just because it counters certain things. This Naval Stroke is kind of weak. I mean, it counters the Delph creatures, but we kind of already have what we need against them. Well, let's see what we take out anyways. Because like these wills are also interesting, but they are going to board in mass removal. Because the Harbingers are good, it gets harder. Let's see. Because like kind of our whole deck is already adapted against Shadow. I'm gonna skip this song. There we go. This is a lot more soothing. Sorry. So I don't like this clique necessarily. The Kopala, their deck is like super like based on efficiency, so Kopala is actually a problem. Image is very good to go against Shadow. Not Shadow specifically, but like Gurmag Angler and stuff. And like every card in the deck really works towards your goal. So I just want to board in these relics and there's this spell. I guess there's a spell too. What do I not want? Post-board the games go longer, so I guess Kopala's worse. They are efficient at what they do, but 2 mana is a lot for Shadow. They do have discard though, so and it is a 2/2, so I'll get rid of Kopala. I guess I don't like the spell against a deck that has discard, and that's probably keeping them. So we lose the Kopala, and we just work on developing our own plan, basically. The Kopala and the Image are actually kind of close. I prefer Kopala to Image, I guess. I think. It's so close. They could just Fatal Push the Image anytime. The Kopala sometimes can mess up with what they do, so, yeah. Right, so we have Vile and C. Okay, this hand is just great on so many levels. Yeah. Yeah, Merfolk's kind of like this secretly good deck. like nobody rates it or anything. They always think, oh, it's bad, but it always like, I don't know. It's always okay. Oh, right. But our opponent could have discard for this Vile. They should have boarded out Stubborn Denial, so I'm just going to run it out, of course. Right, okay. So the Vile's in play. Now, because of Call against command, there's a chance I have to Vile my Curse Catcher a lot faster than I would want to. Let's see. They got a blue-red source? That's weird. Blue-red is a very strange land. Oh, they lost the Blood Crypt. That's... Oh, wow. That's very good for us. Losing the Blood Crypt there is great. for us. I'm not sure about like getting the steam vents. It's not normally the one you want. Okay, so our opponent's passing. So, we don't want to get blown out by Kolaghan's command. Let's see here. So we could Spreading Seas, the Black Source, or we could play Silvergill Adept. I kind of like the Spreading Seas on black. We could do it on red. Actually, wait. Our opponent's going to have more master removal, so red is more important, the post-board, and it's a lot easier to lock out. So we're just going to seize the steam vents. We could have done it on this Watery Grave, but I think our opponent's going to get black a lot easier. Okay. Sure. I'm going to go to main phase 2 anyways, so yeah. Right, so we drew a Relic of Progenitus. That's nice. So we don't want to get Kolaghan's commanded. So I'm just gonna... Yes, Violin this Curse Catcher. I know it looks bad because we're not going to surprise our opponent, but yeah. Like, if they Kolaghan's command our Vile, we would be in trouble. Right, Liliana? No, Angler, right. That makes sense. Okay. So, yes. Master Waves is really nice. So here we're just going to violin the Adept. Just get through our deck while putting a Fret. Okay, not drawing a land there is awkward for Relic, but our opponent has no cards anyways. I'm just a fan of playing the Master out here and attacking for 2. Even though it's helping our opponent towards the shadow, we want to like get this board like going really hard, very fast. If our opponent goes like red source cake, what is it called? Kozilek's Return. It's awkward. Right. So Fatal Push unfortunately is going to resolve. Get hit by Angler. I don't know if we're going to hit this turn because Shadow's a thing, but I'll think about it. Okay, so we want to Vial on upkeep to get a Master down while putting a charge counter for Master Waves next turn. Right. Okay, we draw an island. I think we just... I play a Relic here first, just to make sure we can get that Fatal Push out. If our opponent has another card, I want to know now. Right, okay, cool. Then we play the second Master of the Pearl Trident, and we smash in. And our opponent might have Death Shadows, but we have Master of Waves, which is pretty good against that. Okay, 1 second. Let's F3. Our opponent plays Snapcaster Mage here. Yeah, that's fine. None of that is a problem. Yeah, because with Relic, I guess Snapcaster's not very good. So our opponent Thought Scours themselves. Thoughtseize. Okay. That's pretty good though. If our opponent's first plays the Thought Scour, we're probably in good shape. Let's see here. We obviously don't want to block. Yeah. Yeah, Death Shadow makes sense. And here we definitely want to put a charge counter. Yes. So we have Harbinger of the Tides, which with free lands though. So yeah. We could Harbinger here, the Gurmag. Let's see. Right now, the Curse Catcher is pretty interesting too. Let's see. Let's say our opponent has Fatal Push, because that's probably the most likely. They just die though. There's nothing that our opponent can do. So we're just gonna like attack and we should probably win. Since this is 10 damage. And they all have Island Walk. Yep. Right, so free 0. I'm gonna put the light on because it's getting a bit dark. I'll be back. Also, there's like my beef bourguignon in the oven, so we're gonna eat deliciously tonight. Also, we got a treasure chest for sure, so that's good news. Merfolk's at least paid its weight back, and we're gonna get a treasure chest, so that's definitely great. Yeah. We'll play soon. I don't know. I feel like my sideboard is awful though. I'm pretty sure the Merfolk sideboard. Like, I'm only gonna do one league most likely, but at the end of the stream, I'm gonna like look at the sideboard because I feel like it could be massively improved. Like yeah, maybe a third Relic of Progenitus. Like the card is just like in the matchups where Relic is good, it's like really, really good. Music. Well, as much as I like Vial plus land, this is not what I had in mind. So we're gonna mulligan this hand. Triple Dismember, Jesus. We play free Dismembers, but okay. I guess this hand's not keepable either. We're gonna mulligan. This deck doesn't seem to mulligan super well though. We're definitely gonna keep Mutavault, since it's a land. It puts pressure. It's really what we want. So yeah. And we have Dismember, worst case scenario. Merfolk's been at sea. Yeah. Yeah, these are the treasure hunters. Windswept Tea Forest is interesting. Okay. So they're probably on Valakut, so we probably gonna just mulligan the 4 now. That's good to know. It's always good to know when you've mulliganed the 4 cards. Draw a card. It's not so bad. I mean, I'm not gonna complain really. We have Curse Catcher, which is totally fine. And we have Mutavault. So like we're doing what we can, given the situation. Yeah, that's fair. I mulled a 3-card hand into a 4-card hand. That's a good way of putting it. Right. Search for Tomorrow again. Right. Well, this is at least a 2/2. Okay, so we're gonna play this, and then we're gonna play this Rejury. And then we're gonna attack. And we're gonna hope that this is good enough. And if it's not, we're gonna hope to top deck into something that is good enough. These decks play bold sometimes. Actually, they should. Like, you can't. Right, so we can animate Mutavault, or yeah, Harbinger of the Tides is not really where you want to be. What is this? Explorer. Can't counter that. And I don't know, like a 2/2? Yeah. They play Anger sometimes? Yeah. Okay, Stomping Ground. Oh, they have Lightning Bolt? What is this? Secure Tribal. Jeez, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a little fast for my taste. The problem with Dismember is if we Dismember and our opponent Scape Shifts, we die. Whereas, 1 second, this is 6, 7. We might die anyways to 8 lands. Scape Shift. Spreading Seas, that's an interesting one. Seas is a very interesting one here because, I mean, I don't think stopping a Valakut's really going to matter much. Let's see. Our opponent, actually, if we stop a mountain and our opponent doesn't have a mountain, their Primeval Titan doesn't do anything. And that seems way better than attacking with Mutavault here. Because, like, if we attack with Mutavault here, how much damage is this? Attacking with Mutavault would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 off lethal. We could play Harbinger and tap the Psychic Tribal there, but that just seems worse than any other option. You could play Harbinger and Spreading Seas and just like try to kill the next turn. That might be okay. Let's see. Yeah, we definitely want to stop the like just prime time loss. So I think we have to cast the Spreading Seas. But if we cast Spreading Seas, then we can. Well, I can cast Harbinger and Spreading Seas, but I have to tap one of my lands. Yeah, I think playing the 2/2 in the sea is like the way we want to position this, because like putting our opponent to 1 doesn't really change much, and going to 18 is bad. So I now want to seize this Stomping Ground to avoid the 6 mountain. Yeah, it's still a 2-turn clock. I think this is the line. Right, so cast. We're gonna untap this island. Yeah, 1 damage off. Untap island, yes. Seize a Stomping Ground. Well, Vial is not what we need right now. Right, so attack with everything. And then next turn we should have lethal if our opponent doesn't. If they have like Mountain, Primetime, they got a Forest, they have Scapeshift, we're dead. No one gets this and like without like knowing that they've won. So we're dead. I assume my opponent has another line to kill me here. No. This isn't lethal. It does clean my board, but it's not lethal. Wait, that doesn't... Okay. I mean... Yeah, they only have 3 mountains. Why would they fetch a forest? Oh yeah, because they have to cast Primal Titan. I'm being very silly here. Right, Stomping Ground and Mountain. Sure. Cinderglade. What is this? Tribe Elder? So they have access to 2 bolts. This is kind of a very frustrating turn of events. But let's see. Would have been much worse if we didn't Spreading Seas this. Okay, well... Jesus. Vial, really? Okay. Well, there's not really many options, so... We're gonna animate Mutavault, and... 1 second. If we dismember this, what happens? Our opponent's gonna kill Regery and like one of these, and then block the other. And then we deal 3 damage, and then we die. This all seems bad. But if we kill Titan, we might have a shot. Right, so attack with all creatures. Did I misread this or not? No. Our opponent could have gotten Mountain. They could have bolted the Regery and an Adept. They could have blocked... Like, they could have blocked, killed the Regery and the Adept, or kill the Mutavault, whatever, like, makes sense. Then, like, take 2. I mean, if I have Dismember, then sure, but... Okay, just sure. Well... Unified Will, Disdainful Stroke, and Dealing Clique are for sure cards I want. I don't think Opal is doing much. Dismember is obviously not doing anything. Harbinger is bad too, so we'll max out on taking those out, but we might board in something else. I know they board in creatures, so Dismember is not like the worst, but we don't care about the creatures since we have Spreading Seas. And that's a better plan. Could board in Dispel. In case our opponent boards in bolts. What else did they board in? What does Red Green Valakut board in? I obviously should know this by heart, but I actually have not played the deck in a long time. Might get like a Beast Within or something, or like their Bolt, but it doesn't seem. It does get Summoners Pact, which sometimes can be relevant. I think one Dismember, one Dispel. Like, one Dispel's okay. And then we need, like, a last card. Which I guess the Harbinger is fine. It's like just a 2-2 that attacks. This hand's kind of awkward. It looks like good, but it does have a lot of... It is very awkward because we don't have like an actual island for Spreading Seas. But I'll keep it because we have like 1-drops and we can always go Curse Catcher, which isn't like super bad. It's not a great hand though. Am I going to Madrid? I have no plans to go to Madrid since it's a little far for me since I live in Montreal. I went because it was at the same time as the World Magic Cup last time. So no, I have no plans to go to the next Grand Prix Madrid. We drew a depth, by the way, which is nice. Right, so first attack for 1. Then we can play Adept. I guess revealing a number is fine. Right, Island's good. Ship. If our opponent plays like a Search for Tomorrow here, we're 100% countering it. Farseek? Yeah, for sure. That Curse Catcher's not getting better. Oh wow, our opponent passed. So the Spreading Seas is going to be nuts. Wow, yeah. The Spreading Seas is going to be nuts. It's actually unreal how good Spreading Seas is at the moment in the metagame. Okay, Stomping Ground. They go Search for Tomorrow. This Curse Catcher is also getting that. Hard Expedition I can't do much about though. Right, so here we have Counter Magic, but there's nothing like I really want to counter right away. So I'm probably gonna... Spreading Seas on the Stomping Ground seems really good here. And we can draw into like a blue source for our Master or Adept, so yeah. The Spreading Seas the ground, we're gonna draw a card, and then we could play the Adept or the Master here. I'd rather play the Adept here. So we're just gonna attack here. Because it's, yeah. It's a little less vulnerable. Right, Adept. We can reveal this Master since they know it's coming, but yeah, it's fine. Our opponent missed their land drop, which like puts them in a world of hurt. They probably like had Farseek, but the Curse Catcher stopped them. So like they were right to wait a turn, and then they, although I guess they drew Calling Heart Expedition on that turn, so maybe they should have played Calling Heart that turn. All right, so they have access to blue, blue, red. Right, so here, let's see. I think we can just attack and have, I guess Stroke isn't really gonna do that much. Wouldn't it be safer to tape the Cavern over the Mutavault for C? Yeah, if I draw another Mutavault, then I'm kind of, yeah. So it's like, I'm always playing Adept in that spot. So, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. Okay. I'm just going to play Master here and keep this Unified Will up. And I'm not going to counter if my opponent kills this Master with a Bolt. Because it's still a lethal clock either way. And I'd rather counter, like if my opponent goes Mountain like Anger, I can kill them, so right. Or whatever this is. Right, Cycle Sweltering Suns. Yeah, that's a good sign. Right, so we're 4-0. Lots of treasure. All the treasure. So much treasure. It's unreal amounts of treasure now. I didn't really plan to stream a second league with Merfolk. But this has gone really fast. So I'll consider like a second league. It is Christmas, so like a short stream doesn't... I don't mind a short stream either, to be honest. Like, let me know in the chat, because like, if you guys are like gonna watch for like an extra 2 or 3 hours, like, you don't have to commit, but like, if you just tell me like, if most of you are like, yeah, I'm gonna watch for like another 2 or 3 hours this Merfolk deck, then I'm totally up for like a longer stream. But like as I said, like a shorter stream would not actually hurt me, because it would be nice to just, because like there's a beef bourguignon heating up, like looking forward to like some pretty premium stew, and you know like, but I don't mind like playing a longer league. That's totally. I don't mind like a second league because this deck's pretty fast, and it would go really fast. Plus, I actually like this Merfolk deck. I think people underrate it. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of it, and I keep beating it when I play it, mostly because I'm always on like Snap Bolt decks. But to be fair, we won against like a Snap Bolt deck and a Death Shadow deck. It wasn't so unconvincing. I think the Jeskai deck was by far the hardest matchup. The Merfolk Mirror, we just got like insanely lucky. Right, so this hand's a keep. We're gonna name Merfolk on one and probably Wizard on the other, just in case we draw a Vendalion Clique. We're gonna keep. No Lords is awkward, but the Spreading Seas is like some disruption. Scalding Tarn, well, less interesting. Let me think. I'm gonna go for Island because I want our opponent to like misplay. And I can't think of a counter spell that counters Curse Catcher at 1. I mean, like, there are some. Like, there's like Mana Tithe. But if my opponent goes Mana Tithe, fair play to them. Absolute legend fair play to them. Right, okay. Blood Crypt tap is interesting. They could be on Shadow. Yeah, they probably are. Even with Blood Crypt tap, they probably are. Pit? Oh, they're on Grixis control. Oh wow, this matchup's got to be insanely hard. So let me think here. Can still make it less obvious what we have, but if I draw a Mutavault, I kind of want to play it. Let me think here, because none of these are cards I want to play. So I'm probably gonna Spreading Seas this turn. The question is whether I Spreading Seas the Creeping Tar Pit or the Blood Crypt. But I like the Blood Crypt like would help them get to Cryptic Command. But yeah, I could attack here. Let's just play this. So it's not obvious. So it looks like we're planning to play a post-combat trick, a post-combat creature. Attack for 1, so our opponent's not tempted to bolt this. They're gonna like get the next thing. And then let's Spreading Seas this. We can like Spreading Seas this Tar Pit later. And this like removes black and red, like red, from our opponent. Right, so the extra island there is really bad, obviously. I think our plan is to go Master and Phantasmal Image. Oh wow, this is yeah, Master and Phantasmal. Lord is okay. Probably will die though. I still think I cast it here since none of the other options are really that great. So I'm okay with casting like a Lord here. Yeah, Merfolk's been pretty incredible. I just think this deck is like underrated. I don't think like the deck is unreal or anything. I just think it's like one of the tier 1 decks in Modern, but people don't want to play it. Because it's just like creatures and stuff. Like, it looks bad, but your creatures interact so well, so it's really hard to disrupt. And your deck, like, Clock, is, like, just where it needs to be, where, like, one piece of disruption wins. Because you usually have one disruption piece to like make sure that you can win on turn 5. Like a Dismember or a Harbinger of the Tides. Or a Curse Catcher. Like all these cards like allow you to get to that position. Right, so our opponent was tanking, but they're probably going to kill this Lord of Atlantis. If they go cold against command, I kind of have to just kill it. Also, the Sulfur Falls is unfortunate. They only play 1. But I still think it's better to Stranding Seize the Blood Crypt than the Tar Pit. I might be wrong, though. Alright. So our opponent should... Wow! Wow! Think twice. Okay, our opponent's like on another level. Field of... This is different than what I would ever expect. What is going on? They're gonna Field of Ruin the Cavern? Okay, well, at least we know that that's a thing. So this is for 2. I am in love with our opponent's deck right now. Right, so... The problem with Master here is it's just Devotion 2. And this Vial seems great, but... Like, again, it's not like anything here is worth it. Yeah, there's not many sweepers right now. Like I'm Link to the Past, but this is not my favorite part of that soundtrack. Let me think here. Because like my opponent has explosives. If I attack, they're probably gonna just use the explosives here. We'll see. I'm actually just gonna attack and see what happens. But like, I'm gonna probably play the Master. Because we have Spreading Seas, so it's like already a lot of pressure. Swarm of Mats and Matsole. Excellent. Right, so our opponent played Explosives. Oh, it kills the seas too. Oh, Lightning Bolt? Why wouldn't you use the explosives here? I guess they want to use it for later. Sure. That's fine. I probably would have just cast the explosives here and kept the bolt for later, but that's just me. I'd be wrong. Right, so make this uncounterable for all it's worth. And then like... Yeah, we get some tokens. This is more than enough. You don't need to like go too deep on Master. It already does its job. The Pro Red is very relevant, although if our opponent has Fatal Push, it's kind of awkward. Let's see what happens here. Right, so they do that. They're probably going to Fatal Push this Master Waves now. If I had seen the Field of Ruin... Oh, there's not much I could do. Like, even if I'd seen the Field of Ruin earlier, like, I still would have played on it. Yep, so our Master's dead, sadly, along with all the Elementals. Dismember isn't ideal. This whole hand is, like, is just, like, mega awkward. Merfolk. Okay. We attack for 1 here, and then we play Vial. I really need to keep that Phantasmal Image for like a Regery, I think, if we want to win this match. Yeah, that's fine, you can think once. Right, so our opponent didn't hit their land drop, which is relevant. Master Waves? Master is great here, since now we can respond with Phantasmal Image. So first we're gonna... Oh, because we can respond with Phantasmal Image, I'm gonna wait until this Vial gets to 2. I guess I could also flash this Harbinger end of turn. I should have considered that like at the end of the last turn. I don't think the green is worth it. That's my honest assessment. My opponent explosives plus pushes, then at least I have this Curse Catcher. Yeah, obviously bounce nothing. Because yeah, I can just Curse Catcher the thing, so yeah. Right. I will put a charge counter, yes. Adept is nice too. Right, so here we want to just attack first. This isn't tons of damage, but it's fine. It's good enough. Right, our opponent's at 10. They're fine with it too. Now we cast this Master of Waves, which gets us a bunch of things. Except they're going to explosives, so it'll only get us 2, but that's okay. Because we can get a second one. This Merfolk's been really impressive, I think. Like, I'm really surprised at how impressive it is, but it's been impressive. So our opponent here should crack the explosives for 2. It's actually possible I shouldn't have played this because of explosives for 2. But we need to get rid of this at some point. Oh, hey, Sam. Okay, so this happens. And then our opponent might try to fiddle push this. Okay, so that's fine. All this is okay. We could have flashed in Phantasmal Image for an extra elemental. We don't want to do that. Right, now we do, because our opponent tapped out. Yes. We're going to copy this master. I'm going to make more elementals. And then sadly, this, yeah, Fatal Push works. It's actually, maybe that sequence wasn't good because of explosives. I shouldn't have bothered with the, yeah, because now your opponent can Snapcaster and kill the master. They just need to target it. Yeah. We're going to keep a Vial at 2, by the way. Because if we draw another master, there's no... Okay. Yeah. Maybe I played that wrong. I shouldn't have let our opponent explosives, but then they had the fetch land, so... Unfortunately, they didn't know the interaction here. Well, even if they didn't, like, it kills it anyways. Yeah, it's sad for me. So many Fatal Push. Right. So, we're not going to put a charge counter. No. We will Vial in this Adept, because I don't feel like paying 5 mana for it. Draw a card. Draw another master. I could attack with Curse Catcher here first and just see what happens. Right. So that happens. So if our opponent has another Fatal Push, this is bad. How likely is it that my opponent has a third Fatal Push? I gotta just cast this, because if they don't have it, like, this is very close to lethal. If they have the push here, it's awkward. No. Oh, terminate? Okay. Oh, this makes more sense, right? Yeah. There's almost no permanents, though, so... Maybe I should have played Master Pre, because there were no permanents. So I would have had at least an extra elemental. Yeah, that was bad. Because this is not very impressive. Yeah, I should have just, yeah, cast the Master. No. Minamo. Yeah, I should have played Master pre-combat and gotten an extra elemental and then attacked. That was actually wrong with me. Shouldn't have offered this trade. Right, Snapcaster Mage. Ugh. Well, It's not gonna matter much soon. Opt? Okay. Well, if they're gonna opt, we might as well dismember. Okay. Or not. I guess I should have dismembered though, but our opponent could always activate green tar pit. Right. So I think I played this game very bad. I'm just not sure where, which is actually worse. Our opponent should have played Think twice first, and then played Opt. For what it's worth. Since by doing so, like, Think twice is not a like, they draw with it, it's a draw engine, and Opt is a cantrip. So, you know more what you want to get. Right. And that's 4 cards. No. Mutalt is gonna have to do a lot of work. Yeah, this is how you beat Merfolk. You just play removal and like 2-for-1 with Snapcaster and like draw cards and stuff. Yep. Opponent probably is just going to win on Cryptics and Kolagans or something. If they have Kolagans command here, I would just, yeah, just return Snapcaster Mage and destroy Vial is good. They could have made me discard a card, I guess. But yeah. I don't want to bounce a Snapcaster. But at least this has Flash. Can bounce a Tar Pit. We'll keep the island in hand so that if we get Kolaghan, yeah. This is like Grixis control. Snapcaster Mage on my opponent's main phase. Serum Visions? Okay. Right. Now is the difficult question because our opponent probably has like another Snapcaster for that Kolaghan's command. So I'm gonna just sit back and relax for a little bit. We have time. Opponent probably has multiple Cryptics. Mutalt is good though. Yeah. Scalding Tarn. Do I want to pull the trigger here? Probably not. Yeah. I kind of want to wait for like 2 more Lords if I can, and we have time, because then the Lords can chain into each other. This is why it's important for our opponent to kill the Vial. Okay, Snapcaster Mage, right. So that's 2. So there's maybe 1 left. Okay, Kolaghan's command, that's fine. We'll discard the Silent. Oh, get back Snap, yeah. This is like the ultimate Snapcaster Mage deck. Okay, we take 2. It's actually probably better. Okay. So this, we might not have that much time though. Cavern. Okay. So I have to think here what we want to do end of turn, if anything. Right, we're going to 6. We don't want to bounce Snapcaster. Our opponent already has one. This dismember is not going to do anything if otherwise, so I might as well, I think... we're not going to bounce a creature for obvious reasons. No. We're at 6, so our opponent should like if they have lightning bolt, they kill us. I just assume that like we lose to bolts. So that's fine. Okay, discard a card, probably a land. This can fetch a mountain for what it's worth. So it is mana. Right, Logic Knot? Okay. Well, Logic Knot's probably not doing anything. I do agree with that. Reejery is interesting. So... how much mana do we have access to? We definitely have to go for it this turn. It doesn't really matter what else happens. So... Reejery... if our opponent has Cryptic, though, we lose, so... that's the problem, is our opponent probably just has Cryptic. And we have to play, like, these Lords pre-combats. Yeah, our opponent has Cryptic Command. We lost. They haven't played one yet. They have 7 cards in hand. And it's just like... yeah. They're just sitting tight. It's very easy. Like... I can, like, tap a Tar Pit for what it's worth, but yeah. I mean, there is a very... no, there's no chance our opponent doesn't have Cryptic here. This deck plays like 4. What's going on here? Oh yeah, there's just floating mana. Yeah, that's fair. We're not gonna tap Creeping Tar Pit. We're gonna put a stop at our beginning of combat, so that at least they can't use that mana. I should have chosen Wizard, by the way, rather than Merfolk on the second one, although it paid off here. Because Wizard would have allowed me, in case I drew Cleek, which was one of my best outs, to like get rid of a Cryptic Command or something. Right, so we're gonna move to beginning of combat, and then on beginning of combat we're gonna animate the Mutavaults, and then we're gonna lose the Cryptic Command. What I think is taking a long time, but yeah. Okay, so now we... because, like, this is not going to be enough to kill our opponent. Not, like, even close. And I don't think, like, staying back is going to help us, so... Minamo... Of note, we can't dismember our own creature if our opponent decides to Cryptic Bounce. Which probably won't lead to us winning, but it's a cool thing. We could do. Right, so now both Mutavaults will be activated. And now we're going to move to combat. And our opponent's going to have Cryptic Command. And we will F6 and our opponent will kill us on their turn. It is as easy as that. We were like dead from turn like 6 or something, or like from turn 6, I think. Like it took us like it's turn 16 and we're dead, but like turn 6 or 7 was when we were like lost. Just took 10 turns to realize that vision, but yeah. Come on, play your cryptic command. I don't understand why my opponent spent about 3 to 4 minutes on their clock on what is like one of the easier sequences of this game. Like, I can understand using that time like for some of the earlier turns. It was actually pretty hard. Like the explosives, fatal push turns, and all that. Like those were super hard. If my opponent has cryptic, this is like, yeah, this is not hard. Right, you tap, and then that's it. That should do it. Maybe their lunch was ready? That's fair. Yeah, Christmas meal. Right, that's okay. I can live with that. I think with Field of Ruin, Minamo might be worse now. Not because like they can use it for fatal push, but only one deck. This is the first deck I've seen that actually does that. So, right, Snapcaster Mage, Lightning Bolt. Could really be anything you want. This is like, man, this is like a pretty high chunk of their clock. I'll note, I don't count it as a win for spreadsheet purposes, but I will take a win on the clock, because I've taken my losses on the clock. Okay. And we go to the game free, we're a heavy favorite to win as a result. Okay, so we're at 3 life, so we can't cast this Dismember anymore.
Oh, okay, I can't wait for this next one. This is sweet. Really, really like the
I just saw what source that was. No. Right. Dear God, their opponent's taking a long time to just realize their vision of killing us with Snapcaster Mage. They took like 5 seconds to attack every turn, but like this sequence was really bad for them. Like, I guess they just wanted to like secure this like game win. But yeah, there's like 2 more, like, at least 1 more game to play. Right, there we go. I don't think there was a line where I could have like stayed back, so I'm okay with like trying to go through a cryptic command I know is in my opponent's hand, because we can't beat the card anyways. Okay, our opponent is still tanking. This is insane. I think between last turn and this turn, our opponent ate 6 minutes on their clock. Like, I feel I've been playing pretty slowly, but this is, yeah. I mean, this game's long, so it's normally it should take a while. But, like, our opponent ate 7 minutes on their clock for almost no reason. I wonder if their connection's slow or something. That might explain it. Like, connections have been really bad. Okay, I'm just gonna have 6 and be nice to them. Like, I'm not gonna, like, activate Beautivault randomly or something. It doesn't matter. They should have 6 here. Like, there's nothing that could happen. Like, even if I Vapor Snag, I'm dead. So, my opponent should just, like, attack and that's it. Yeah. Maybe the game lasted so long they forgot it's not game 1. That's actually quite possible. Because, yeah. This is very, 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 very slow. Also, this night matchup is a nightmare. It's basically the Jeskai matchup, but push instead of Path. And Path is okay, because at least I get lands. But, yeah. Like, this matchup is a pure nightmare. Because they also have Call Against Command to deal with Vile, so I can't even, like, trick my opponent. This is probably, like, one of Merfolk's worst matchups. Well, Affinity's, like, the actual worst, but yeah. Okay, so after opponent took... Okay, so because I have Call Against Command, Cage is just awful. Dismembers are bad. They usually only play 2 Tassigers. Vanilling Clique is okay. Unified Wills are okay. They're not, like, yeah. Dispel is obviously fine. Even though they have Cryptic, I don't really like Disdainful Stroke. So we're going to keep it at this. What do I not like? I don't like the Harbinger of the Tights, mainly. I think we're going to cut the Harbingers since they're just 2/2s for 2. And everything else is fine. Like, well, the C's, like, gets rid of, like, Creeping Tar Pit, Red Sources, Image is okay. There's even, like, the weird play where if they have Snapcaster Mage, we could Unified Will their spell by flashing in an image. Which would be incredible. Yeah, this is fine. Copala's pretty good. Like, their deck is... Like, Copala's good against Snapcaster Mage decks because it makes it much harder for them to snap you. But, yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. Well, this hand is... I mean, they tend to, like, board out counter magic anyways. So these caverns are much worse than they are game 1. And this has just almost no pressure, so we're gonna mulligan. This hand's much better. It's really awkward on Cavern here, because I really want to name Wizard, but we're gonna keep. But then you have this. I'm happy with just naming Merfolk. We can always click later, it's not so bad. It'd be really sad if we won on the clock, but it may actually come down to that. Merfolk, okay. Yeah. Lord is like... Yeah, I mean... Having 2 cliques is awkward with this. But they shouldn't have counter magic except for Cryptic. Okay. So Curse Catcher basically dealt Explosives for 2. Okay. Yeah, Explosive for 2 is usually correct against Merfolk. Okay, Master Waves. That's fine. I should have done it with Cavern, by the way. Just in, you know, there's no drawback to doing so. It shows as well I have, like, no counter magic or interaction, so that was actually a mistake. Okay, our opponent is probably just going to kill this Lord of Atlantis. They kind of have to. Okay, Mutavault is... Mutavault is, like, really frustrating because of the way our hand is. If we named Wizard on this, well, we wouldn't have been able to cast this. And our opponent would have taken a lot less damage. So, Right, so attack. Right, so they sack their Explosives for 2. And then we ship. Feel the Ruin? It's actually shocking how good this card is for us. Well, yeah, like it'd be good. Oh, well now it's not relevant. Okay. They have access to Cryptic, but we have access to Curse Catcher. So what do I want to do here? I could cast Master first, but then they have access to Fatal Push. I'd rather just cast Clique here, if I'm honest. We could activate Mutavault and cast Clique while they're tapped low. Yeah, let's just animate Mutavault and cast Clique. It's a good turn for them to Field of Ruin, I guess, but there's a high chance they're going to Field of Ruin us. Yeah. So this is one of the like most obvious Field of Ruin targets. Right, so we're going to do the damage here. Probably. Right. Let me think actually. So our opponent has... We could do it draw step, which isn't my favorite time. Actually, they're very likely to cryptic it. I think that's fine to do it end of turn. Let's just wait, see what happens. Think twice. Because if they have K command, I could get rid of it now. Okay, so we're gonna put a stop on our own turn. And I kind of want to look at their hand now while they're tapped out. Since we have another clique, it's not so bad. Right, so I want to see their hand. Oh dear God, damnation. That whole hand is... Yeah, Curse Catcher is really, really good. People don't know. Wow. Damnation, huh? Let's see, right now Damnation kills 2 Curse Catchers, but later on it might kill more. Fatal Push isn't that bad. Search is awkward. This whole hand is like super awkward for us. Actually, Fatal Push with Snapcaster Mage? Is that the line? If we take Fatal Push, and our opponent draws 2 lands for Damnation, though, it's awkward. And also, we're making our opponent draw a card, so... Search is probably not flipping right away. I think we have to just, like, not care about that card right now. So it's between... They have Torrential and Snapcaster, so for me, it's between Damnation and Fatal Push. Fatal Push kills both Curse Catchers, but it doesn't kill Clique. Actually, if they block a Curse Catcher with Snap, then it kills Clique. But then we can get... Okay. I guess I could take Push and just hope on the Damnation. If they kill both Curse Catchers, that's fine, because we can go Master of Ways. But then they can go Snapcaster Damnation. This is really tough. Like, for sure our opponent's not got many Damnations. So this would be the best turn for them. Getting rid of Fatal Push is kind of nice, but our opponent has no enablers for it. Except for their own Snapcaster Mage. This is really hard. Like, is it like unreal to take Snap here? When it has enough black mana. They have Gearhulk, so... Like, if we take Snapcaster Mage... This is really hard. Yeah, because if we take Snapcaster Mage, then they can't, like, flashback this Damnation. But it gives them a land, and they have Push. Oh my god. I'll take the Snap, but that was really close. I'm not actually sure that was correct. Yeah. Yeah, they still have I also hate that Clique doesn't remember the cards, so I'm gonna have to remember them by heart. Yeah. Taking the Snap is probably correct. Overall. Opponent has Tar Pit as well, so they could animate Tar Pit. They drew Tar Pit? Okay. Well, that means that they have access to this Damnation no matter what. Let's see. Rejury is kind of nice in that it puts our opponent to 1. But then our opponent Damnations, tapping out. Then they have access to... Then we can Clique them. Is that the line? I could also just attack, but then our opponent has Tar Pit to block. That's the main... The main problem I have is our opponent has... Could I Clique the Damnation away? I don't know if it's really worth it. Between Rejury, like, I could attack with both Curse Catchers here, but the Rejury... Yeah, the Rejury at least makes these Curse Catchers 2/2s. And, like, my opponent would take the damage. They would probably think twice. They might push a Curse Catcher. I think that's fine. Yeah, I like the Rejury here. I know they have push, but they can only kill a Curse Catcher with it. Because this way I push lethal damage from a clique or a master. Yeah, maybe I could have just attacked with clique, but I think this line is fine too, because this line prevents, right, see? Okay, well, might as well sack, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Putting my opponent to free is actually kind of a nice side effect. So we got the push out of their hand, because they want a Torrential Gearhulk to push most likely. Okay, what is this? Oh, think twice, yeah, sure. That's fine. Right. So now they're gonna Damnation. They didn't draw another land because they probably would have played that land. Right, so Damnation. Try to counter that, they'll pay. We'll lose these two. And then we will click on our turn. I wanna get rid of Unified Will. This is... Our opponent has no push left. I think Clique is the best line. They don't have Bolt. This Clique is just great. Might have been incorrect though, because like Master and then Clique plus Unified Will is good too. Double Dispel? Really? As of now, with the cards our opponent has, they've lost. Because the Fatal Push doesn't... They only need to draw a fetch land though. And... This is interesting. Do I take the Gearhulk here? Or do I just not care? Like they'd have to draw a Sack Outlet. What is there? Like 1 or 2 Field of Ruins and... You know what? I think this is fine. They have to do the spells too, so... You know what? No, we're gonna just... Yeah. Okay, don't hit it. Don't hit your fetch. Don't hit your Lightning Bolt. Don't hit your Call against Kemet. Don't hit your Cryptid. Oh my god, this is too many cards. We're taking a lot of time on our clock because the lines have been a little too hard and I'm not used to the deck. So I think I would not play a deck cold in a like big tournament anyways. But what is this? No, no. You take Unified Will? Oh my god, no. Oh, we're dead. We are basically dead. Oh man, that brutality. Yeah, now they flip search for Scanta and it's a joke. They still have a Dispel, right? Yeah. I would have drained for 2 here though. Right, so F6. They still have Dispel, right? So this Torrential Gearhulk is horrific too. What do I do here? Do I attack? Forces my opponent to Gearhulk. I guess that's fine. I think it was the right line though to let our opponent keep it, because they have to draw. Like if they, there's not many draws that. Right. Right, and now they just play Gearhulk and they have Dispel back up. I don't think boarding in 2 Dispels against Merfolk is correct, but let me think. I don't have any more cliques. I mean, this Unified Will is going to get Dispelled at some point anyways. So might as well force that out, yeah. Our opponent gets Fatal Push and they win. No, I shouldn't have clicked Hulk. Because if our opponent, like... Because, like, basically, we're putting our opponent on drawing 1 card. Yeah. Because they have Search for a Scanta, that's why I shouldn't click Hulk. Well, sure, but like, I'm gonna lose the Search for a Scanta anyways. Like, as long as they can, like, draw, like, because they had, the Hulk wasn't doing anything. They needed to draw, like, an enabler for it, like a fetch land. Let me think. Search for a Scanta, like, just totally crushes us, though. Yeah. I think the best line was just them bricking. Like, I don't agree with taking Hulk here. Like, if they brick, we win. If we, like, if they, like, lose the Hulk, that gives them 2 chances to get to a removal spell. Like, remember, like, Snapcaster is also a dead draw with the way that game played out. Yeah, but they didn't have, right, but it wouldn't have mattered. Because they have 2 creeping tar pits. Like, they played Hulk, but they could have, like, just blocked Master. Like, they had the option to just animate with tar pit. Master wasn't going to do anything. This can't be good. This is way too much. Why would you keep this? Why would you keep this in? Oh my god. Surely this is not a card you should keep against Merfolk. Like, this, you beat them with, like, Collective Brutality and Damnation. Like, the Dispel and Cruel Ultimatum, like, seems excessive to me. Another reason to not click, let them draw a card off click. Why would you keep this? Like, this is only winning the game when you've won the game. Also, yeah, whatever. It's fine. I would have just attacked with Gear Hulk for what it's worth there, but yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, for what it's worth, I still stand by not clicking the Gear Hulk. I still stand by that decision. Now, the sequencing itself is more interesting. Like, maybe I should have played Master instead of Vendilion Clique, but I don't think Master was good enough. And then there's a question of, like, should I have played Rejury? I don't know if I got unlucky. My opponent had lots of outs, but the other thing is, like, should I have played Rejury or not? So, because, like, the extra 2 damage was super relevant, and it made our opponent, like, use up their Fatal Push. So I think that Rejury line was okay too, since it wasn't going to be very good later. They had more known outs than outs. Let me think. Okay, so they probably had, like, let's rewatch quickly. No, but right. My argument is my opponent didn't have a card to revolt their Fatal Push. So by not taking Gear Hulk into Fatal Push was doing nothing, because essentially, if my opponent untap, like, if my opponent kills that clique, I lose the match. Like, I can't come back. My opponent has 2 dispels, so my Unified Will is dead. So basically, and my opponent has Search for a Scanta. So if my clique dies, the match ends. There's no card I can draw from that point on that saves me. Like, the match just ends there. So the rationale for me not cliquing is that basically, yeah, drawing a lord doesn't kill them. Because they had the fetch land. Like in that case, like they could like, if they had the removal spell, they could just play Search for a Scanta and then, like, just use Search's ability and, like, kill the Master, or they could block. Like, I think you're looking at, like, the sequence. Like, we can calculate the sequence if you want. Like, if you want to calculate the odds quickly. Right, so I'll just zap to that point, just so we. There might be other mistakes, but I'm pretty sure this one's fine. Right. Okay. Stop. Okay, we went too far already. Let me just restart that. Sorry. Okay. Just because I want to make sure, like, you understand, like, because most people, like, always want to click a card away. And it's important, like, to know when not to do that. Okay, so turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. Let me just go through this quickly. Right, so opponent down to 10. Right, okay, so we're getting to the right point. So this turn was also hard. Like, do I play Rejury or do I, like, plan to cleak them? End of turn. That turn was really hard, I think. But I think because they can animate Tar Pit, I really needed to play the Rejury. If they didn't have Tar Pit, I think it was better to attack. But they could animate Tar Pit and fiddle push the Evercurse Catcher, and that puts me in a really bad position. Because then they don't have to do much. Okay, so they're gonna Damnation here. Right. I don't know my opponent's exact list, so my odds aren't gonna be quite there. Right, okay, so here we go. So this was like the key turn. Obviously, we're not taking this spell, and obviously Search is wrong. So it's whether we take the Gear Hulk or not. So at this point, our opponent has not drawn a single fetch land, and these decks play like 8 to 9. So I'm gonna be... I did not see a Bloodstained Mire, I think, in game 1, so I'm gonna put 8 fetch lands. Let's put it at 8. They probably play... They can't play like max bolts and max push, so I'm gonna put them on free lightning bolts. And we're gonna say like they board out some commands, but they have like free Colligans command. I think that's fine. Right. So they could draw another push because they could. Actually, no, another push doesn't work because they don't have enough mana. Like I was gonna say they could push their own Tar Pit, but that doesn't work. So if they redraw. So right now. If redraw, Snapcaster plus fetch. I'm gonna say they have another Field of Ruin left in the deck, so 1 Field of Ruin. Right. So if redraw. If they draw Snapcaster, they still need like an enabler, but they... Or Snap plus push. Because they could like... They could... These are sequences... Like you get double sequences that come into play, because they draw 2 cards. So Snap plus fetch. I'm guessing they have 1 more Torrential Gear Hulk, so Gear Hulk X1. They obviously free bolts, and free commands. Yeah, so... Yeah, oh, Snap Damnation, right? Yeah. They could Snap Damnation, right? So Snapcaster on its own is good enough. So Snapcaster, they have they've shuffled their library since or not? No, so they have free Snapcasters. So right, Snapcaster free lightning bolt. They could draw push plus fetch, which obviously is less likely. Let's see, whatever removal could they have? I guess they could draw Cruel Ultimatum. I didn't see that coming, so... I mean, I'm gonna put Cruel Ultimatum there, but that was not part of my decision making. Elective, yeah. Explosives... I would say they have max 1 other explosives. If they have any left. Collective is like whatever. I'm just gonna put... random... other removal. Since that's about right. Like, it could be an Anger, a Damnation, I don't know. I'm gonna say, like... They have like 4... They have 4 more. Like, they have Lightning Bolts, Kill Against Commands, and a random other removal. So, the random other removal gets there. So, the main difference is these fetch lands. So, 1 draw equals +8. So, there's 8 cards. I guess Field of Ruin too. So, 1 draw is like 9 cards. No, Field of Ruin wouldn't do it because they don't have the mana, right? They play Field, they go to 5. No, Field of Ruin wouldn't do it. So, but it would do it with push plus fetch Ruin. Right, so 9. And we're going to put this in another section since this requires 2 draws. Like, yeah. So, like, how do you calculate odds, like, super fast is actually a really important Magic skill. And, like, if I'm wrong, I'm going to admit it. Like, I'd rather, like, be wrong, admit it, like, if I'm wrong, admit it, and, like, learn from this. So, it's not me having to go. It's more, like, understanding what's going on here. I think this is about right. 4 random removal spells. I'll just remove the explosives and put like 5. I think that's fine. Like there'll be like some anger, some stuff. They won't have a flying blocker, so yeah. They could have cryptic too, but yeah, cryptic is bad if they draw it here because they can just. I think with cryptic command they would win because they have Gear Hulk and cryptic, and it's just too bad for me. Cryptic is also bad even without Gear Hulk since they have the spell and they have way more than enough blue mana. They're probably bored out cryptic though, so I'm not gonna keep any. Okay. So, one draw, they have, let's say 9 fetch lands. That's probably more accurate. Could be 8, could be 8. They have a lot of basics and stuff, so yeah. No, 9's right, 9's right. 12, 15. And we're gonna remove Cruel Ultimatum and just put this to 6. I think that's the best way to do it. Right. So, 12, 21. So our opponent's deck at this point is 44 cards, I think. So one draw would be 21 out of 44. 2 draws. So 2 draws would be how many outs equal free for. Oh, Snapcaster works too, right? Snapcaster Mage. Since that gets us 2, so 24 out of 44. So like they're more likely than not to win the match. Just so we're clear, just because I think people wouldn't like get that naturally, but they're actually more likely than not to win the game because the fetch lands are out. If redraw, 2 draw outs. So they can draw. Oh, if I say they have a Gear Hulk, they probably have one here too. They probably only have 1 Gear Hulk, to be fair. Let's remove that. So outs is everything that isn't a fetch land since they lose the push. So it's 15 direct outs and plus 9 doubles. So like them drawing like a specific combination of cards. So the doubles are very low odds. So yeah. Snap hits Damnation. Snapcaster hits Damnation. They have Damnation in the graveyard, so it does work. I could just write that in, I guess. Snap for Damnation. Yeah. Right, so 9 doubles. So we're gonna like put it at 15 out of 44, and then like you can use this as the tiebreaker. The odds on this aren't that unlikely. Like it's a few percent points though. Lord doesn't necessarily win. Because they could still like if I then untap and go Lord, my opponent like. If they draw an out as well, it's most likely going to be cheap, so they can go search for a Scanta. So, by, like, if I take the Gear Hulk. So, like, even the Lord gives me the best chance of winning if I don't let my opponent redraw. In most cases. So, 24 out of 44. So, let me calculate this quickly. 44, so that's 29 out of 44 times. So 2 draws is so it's 57% I get there. Or 24, these are the odds my opponent has to get there. Remember, like, they draw 2 cards, so, like, they could snap Damnation, but they could also draw, like, a Lightning Bolt or a Cold Against command. that would have us cold to search for a Scanta, because that card is going to get there anyways. So, yeah, so... like, this is my concern. I don't think, like, Master into a Lord is a winning line. Because our opponent can draw twice. And even, like, okay, and think about it this way, right? Like, even if our opponent, like, let's say they draw a fetch land for Torrential Gearhulk, since I don't think we're beating removal anyways, then they play the Clique. They have to kill the Clique with this Torrential Gearhulk. They can't play Search. We can play Master, and we still have the Lord. Like... because, like, fetch lands are out, we lose to any removal spell, almost guaranteed. So, but with fetch lands, like, if our opponent plays Gearhulk, then by playing Master, we might have a chance by drawing Lord. So, yeah. So, this is kind of why, like, I agree with your line that, like, Master could still win if we draw a Lord, but that line is actually better by not taking Gearhulk. Since... they still, like, if they draw a removal spell, like, the Master, they still need to draw a fetch land. So, you would add the fetch land here, but the odds don't get that much worse for you. They were only able to push because they drew a fetch land on the second draw. Actually, they drew a fetch land on the first draw, right? No, they drew Brutality, right? Like, if they had drawn Brutality, like, the other line, right? They draw Brutality and fetch land. So they just Brutality and then they kill it anyway. Like, it doesn't matter. The Master dies. They actually get deeper for their deck. On MTG Arena, I'm interested in how MTG Arena is going to develop. I've only had a chance to try it, like, really in October. My view is that... the problem is Ixalan is not the best set. I think in general, like, from a limited card point. I think Ixalan suffers from a lot of issues. They might make it good to... but Ixalan might make it good for the purposes of, like... because, like, you want quick action, so Ixalan's good for that. Yeah. It's close, though. I think Arena is a good thing for Magic, though. Because even if the experiment doesn't work, which I think it will at least work somewhat, like, they will get a team that is better equipped to, like, face digital challenges in the future. So I think it's good that they're doing Arena. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, by the way, I'm sorry I took so long on, like, this play. Like, intuitively, it felt like 24 out of, like, this... the 1-draw felt better than the 2-draw. And, like, that was intuition. Right, so if they drew fetch land... let's see. The problem is, because they drew Brutality, they could have, like, just played this Search for a Scanta. Like, that was the main problem. I actually, like, for me, I can't beat this card, even with Master of Waves. Like, this is gonna flip, and then I lose. That's the other thing you're not taking into account, is how good this Search for a Scanta is. Like, this card kills me. Cold. So, that, like, because they can always draw a removal spell. They can, like, because they have, like, another land, right? So they go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can play Search, get to 8. They can then block with, like, they can then activate Tar Pit. And they have, what, like, 5 left? Activate Search, block with Tar Pit, use the Tar Pit removal. Like, if it's pushed, we'll use the removal on the, like, Lord. Before, actually, that doesn't quite work. But Search is not a card you can really beat, to be honest. Like, they could easily draw into what they need with Search, in my view, so... I think you're underestimating... That's the problem, is they have Search, so I think, like, them not drawing is better. But yeah, it's okay. I think we spent enough on this point. Like, it's okay that, like, we disagreed, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I don't think it's... Like, the thing with Magic, right, is, like, you have to calculate all this stuff on the fly. So, like, that decision, like, that I took all this time to put, like, on paper and explain and all that, like, In a tournament, I just don't have that luxury, and neither do you, really. We have to, like, intuitively make the right call. And for me, intuitively, the right call was this, the 1 draw, rather than the 2 draw. Now, right. Evening. So yeah. But anyways, enough of that. Let's stop this replay. And let's do the most important thing of this stream. And open our treasure chests. Yeah. That game was good because I wasn't looking to really do a second league since it's Christmas Eve and I wanted to have a nice meal and relax and have a drink and spend it at home here. So that next game was really interesting, quite intricate. Took time, so that's good. We lost it, which is the only kind of drawback, but yeah. And then I'm gonna look at Merfolk a little bit as to how I think we could change it. So we got, oh my god, this looks great. Let's see, do we have, let me double check we don't have any random commons that might be good. No, this is all garbage. Okay, so we got 65 fate points, which is totally fine. We got Carnage Tyrant, which is worth an hour's 6.5 ticks, I guess, if I was to sell it. So Carnage Tyrant, so that's 13. Our line is 16. 16 is the line where you were good. So we have an Eventide Flooded Grove. Really? I thought the Eventide lines were worth a fortune. This one's worth 44 cents. Okay, so maybe this isn't a winner. Because Grand Architect is definitely not. I mean, there's a Grand Architect deck, but it's a recent set, yeah. So these are 1 ticket. Aw, no, this isn't a winner. I'm really disappointed. Heartbeat of Spring has got to be worthless. Yeah, Heartbeat is worthless. Research Development is worthless. Oh, man. I thought this Flooded Grove was worth more, honestly. Okay, that's sad. That's really sad. Okay, so... No, they used to be expensive online too. But I think Treasure Chest probably tanked their value because they only get played 1 or 2 ofs, and Eventide was super low, almost not opened at all online. But then there was a revival event, and then a bit a big free event, and I think as well it's just people don't play those lands much. So the people that want it want 1 or 2, and then they have it. Flooded Grove used to be worth a ton, but then a Treasure Chest thing, Treasure Chests disproportionately affect cards that were worth a lot, because of short supply rather than high demand. Yeah, it was worth it varied between 15 and 4 ticks. It is at its absolute lowest point now because probably no one plays it. Right, so how I would change this deck. The main deck was really cool. I liked it. Maybe Free Dismembers is a lot. I kind of like the image, so... I would maybe play another image if I can. We could put the Dismember in the board because I like the Dismember main deck. It felt like our opponents can prepare for it. But it was bad in quite a few matchups. The metagame is very combo heavy, so we're gonna keep 1 Dismember main, 2 Dismembers main. I think an extra image would be good. Just make sure, just double down on some of these effects. I think Free Master Waves was fine. The card is expensive. Free Reju was fine. So I like this main deck a lot. I guess you could play Oboro instead of an island and yeah. The Free Cavern is probably correct. There's not that much counter fundamental counter magic. As for the sideboard, I would easily play 1 or 2 more relics of Progenitus. I think this card is right where you want to be. I think we just have to give up the affinity matchup, so I'm just gonna lose the recalls. And just assume we don't face affinity. If you do, you do. You lose, whatever. So we wanted another one. The Unified Wills were much more awkward than I thought they would be, so I like cutting one. And it could be a Vapor Snag, or... Actually, we can't do double blue, because we have Caverns and Mutavaults and stuff, so double blue is an actual cost. Because I would have, put in a Deprive, do we have, what would be the best, like, just hard counter, like, just no bars held, hard counter. Probably not a standard legal one, let's be honest. Actual counter spell isn't legal in Modern. What's this? No. No. Wow, Avacyn Restored was bad. Like, I would play Deprive if I could, but I guess it's just nothing. Like, because it'd be nice to like counter a Snapcaster or something like that sometimes. Okay, I think this is fine. We need one more card. So maybe a removal spell for a creature? We have 4 Harbinger of the Tides already. And we're boarding a Dismember. Honestly, I think a 4th Relic is fine. Like, there's not many turn 1 drops in the deck, and like, Relic's pretty good. It like helps you beat all these all this Snapcaster nonsense, while just being like a generally good card. So, yeah. I would just do this. I would swap a Dismember. I would cut I would put a Dismember in the board, add an image, and like add 2 relics. I thought the relics were good. And we just assume that Affinity is not a deck that exists. Not true, but not much you can really do. I guess you would want Hurkyl's Recall against Lantern. So that is a problem. Lantern. Ensnaring Bridge is a huge problem. Huh. Hurkyl's Recall is good against Lantern, I forgot about that. I think it's okay to play 4 relics. I really like the card. I guess you could like hedge and play like free and maybe free is okay. Something like this? Yeah, but this seems okay. I'd maybe do something like this. Okay. Right, okay, that's gonna do me today. My beef bourguignon has literally just finished cooking, so I'm gonna get that. Tomorrow, I'm still streaming, even though it is Christmas Day. We will be streaming Through the Breach. Probably a blue, like just the blue-red version of Through the Breach. So, yeah. As for Merfolk itself, I was actually pretty impressed with the deck. I would recommend it. I honestly think Merfolk is totally fine. Like, it seems like it's like this deck that people just don't respect enough, in my view. It's not hard to beat. It's just people have gone away from spot removal and snap. So if people like start playing those hardcore Snapcaster decks, though, you can't really play Merfolk. Like, we got really lucky against the Jeskai opponents. So yeah. If people like play Snapcaster decks, then Merfolk's like not like Affinity is always gonna get played. So yeah. Yeah. So this was like the 10th deck, which is kind of nice. And tomorrow is gonna be Blue-Red for the Breach. For everybody, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever it is you want. And yeah, thank you a lot for watching. Give a follow if you haven't. Otherwise, yeah, I really appreciate everybody tuning in. And yeah, tomorrow for the Breach. Again, I'd recommend Merfolk. I will post both the deck lists I played and the deck lists I would recommend for future testing. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.